We've got a fascinating story about one of the rarest and most valuable coins in American history, the 1964 no-mint mark Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickel. At first glance, it might look like just another nickel. After all, it's the iconic Monticello design featuring Thomas Jefferson, right? But what if I told you that this coin could be worth up to $1.4 million? Sounds too good to be true, right? Stick around, because we're about to dive into this incredible story. Let's first talk about the design of this nickel. The 1964 Jefferson nickel was part of a long-standing series featuring President Thomas Jefferson. The reverse side shows the Monticello building, which is Jefferson's Virginia home. This design was created by Felix Schlag and has been a symbol of American heritage for decades. On the obverse side, you've got Jefferson's profile, an iconic image that's been gracing U.S. coins since 1938. But here's where it gets interesting. A regular 1964 Jefferson nickel should have a mint mark on the reverse side, indicating whether it was struck at the Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco mints. But for a very small number of 1964 nickels, that mint mark was mysteriously missing, and these are the coins that have sent collectors and investors into a frenzy. Now, how did this happen? Well, it turns out that a handful of coins were mistakenly struck in Philadelphia, which is where they were made without any mint mark at all. This error occurred during the coin production process, and when the mint mark was accidentally left off, it created one of the rarest varieties of the 1964 Jefferson nickel. So, why is this 1964 no mint mark Monticello nickel so valuable? Well, it's the rarity. Only a very small number of these error coins were ever produced, and as a result, they've become highly sought after by collectors. When you couple rarity with historical significance, this is a coin that has seriously appreciated in value. In fact, in recent years, one of these rare 1964 no-mint mark Monticello nickels sold for a staggering $1.4 million at auction, making it one of the most expensive nickels ever sold. That's right, $1.4 million for a nickel that was once just another piece of pocket change. So, how can you identify this rare coin in your collection or while coin hunting? Here's what you need to look for. Check the reverse of the coin. Look carefully for the missing mint mark. If there's no D or S, you've found something special. Verify its authenticity. If you think you've found one of these rare coins, get it professionally graded by a certified coin expert. Once you've identified the coin, it's important to have it graded. A certified grading system will determine the coin's condition, which plays a huge role in its value. A coin in mint state condition will obviously fetch a higher price than one with visible wear or damage. While the 1964 no-mint mark nickel is one of the most famous error coins, it's not the only rare piece out there. If you're a coin collector, this could open your eyes to the world of error coins, which often carry values far higher than their face value. Coin collecting isn't just about owning old money. It's about the thrill of discovery, learning the history behind each coin, and, of course, occasionally finding that one-in-a-million gem like the 1964 no-mint mark Monticello nickel. So, the next time you go through your spare change, keep your eyes peeled for that 1964 Jefferson nickel. It might just be the jackpot you've been waiting for. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the rarest nickels out there, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with your fellow collectors. Got a rare coin of your own? Drop a comment below and tell us about it. We're diving into the story of the 1961 no-mint mark Monticello Jefferson nickel, a coin that recently stunned collectors with a market value reaching $1.2 million. Hey coin lovers, welcome back to the channel. If you're into rare coins, treasure hunting, or just love a good underdog story, hit that like button and subscribe, because this one is wild. The Jefferson nickel has been in circulation since 1938. But the 1961 version, minted in Philadelphia, had no mint mark, which was normal at the time. So why is this one so special? It's not about what's missing, it's about what's rare. And when rarity meets condition and collector demand, you get jaw-dropping prices. In 2024, a pristine, uncirculated 1961 Jefferson nickel with full steps on Monticello, that's the fine detail on the building's steps, sold for a staggering $1.2 million in a private collector's deal. MS-67 plus full steps $1,200,000 private auction, 2024-inch. The full steps variety is extremely rare in high grades from 1961. Most nickels from this year are poorly struck, with worn dies, so finding one with sharp, clear steps is like finding a unicorn in your spare change. So what makes this nickel so valuable? Here are the top factors. Full steps designation indicates a strong strike. Mint state is crucial. Only a few exist in this top condition. A twist on a common coin, high collector demand, serious buyers, serious cash. Here's the kicker, this coin was found in circulation. That's right. Someone once spent it like it was just 5 cents. So yeah, go check those change jars, folks. Look for sharp details, especially the steps on Monticello. If your 1961 nickel has them, and is in great shape, you could be holding a fortune. So, do you have $1 million nickel? Let us know in the comments. And if you want more coin stories, values, and tips on spotting rare ones, hit that subscribe button. We've got treasure tales coming your way every week. What if I told you that a simple 5-cent coin from 1998 could make you a millionaire today? Yep, you heard that right. A 1998 D. Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickel has recently made headlines for being valued at a jaw-dropping $1.40 million. Let's find out why, and how you might just have one sitting in your pocket change. The 1998 D. Jefferson nickel was minted at the Denver Mint. That's what the little d under Monticello on the reverse side means. Millions were produced that year, but only one is making waves in the coin collecting world today. What makes this particular nickel worth $1 million? It's not just age or rarity, it's a jaw-dropping mint error and perfect condition. Experts discovered a double die error, where the coin design is slightly duplicated due to a mistake in the minting process. Combine that with a nearly flawless strike and pristine condition, and you've got a coin that collectors go crazy for. Add in the fact that it's a one-of-a-kind discovery, and boom, the value shoots through the roof. In a recent private collector's auction, this coin fetched an unbelievable $1.4 million, making it one of the most expensive modern nickels ever sold. $1,400,000 private collector, that's more than a Lamborghini, a house, or your college tuition, all for a 5-cent piece. So, could you be holding one of these $1 million coins without even knowing it? The 1998 D Mint Mark double die features on the Monticello building a perfectly sharp strike with no scratches or wear. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to inspect details. If you've got a jar of old coins, it's time to go treasure hunting. Who knows, that nickel in your hand could be worth more than $1 million. Like if you're checking your coins today, subscribe for more rare coin finds and hidden treasure stories. Comment below, what's the most valuable coin you own? We dive deep into the wild world of rare coins and hidden treasures you might just have in your pocket change. Today's spotlight is on a humble little 5-cent piece that's got collectors buzzing, the 1981 D. Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickel, and one specific example of this coin has been rumored to be valued at a jaw-dropping $1.3 million. Let's break down what makes this coin so special, and how you can tell if you might be sitting on a fortune. The Jefferson nickel has been a staple of American currency since 1938, featuring our third president, Thomas Jefferson, on the obverse, and his home, Monticello, on the reverse. The 1981 D version was struck at the Denver Mint, identified by the small d mint mark on the right side of Monticello. In total, hundreds of millions were minted, but what makes one of them worth $1 million? So let's get to the burning question. Why would a nickel from 1981 be worth $1.30 million? There are whispers and reports in the numismatic world that a 1981 D. Jefferson nickel with an extremely rare minting error or unique condition, like a full-step designation in pristine MS-70 condition, was graded and sold, or appraised, for $1.30 million. While the official auction record hasn't been publicly verified, we do know that nickels from this year with top-tier grades and rare errors have sold for thousands of dollars. Indicates it's from the Denver Mint. A designation given when all 5 or 6 steps of Monticello are sharply struck. Coins with this feature are much rarer. These are coins in mint state, meaning no wear and tear under magnification. Look for off-center strikes, double dies, or planchet errors. These can multiply the value significantly, and always have your coin checked by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC for the most accurate value. Okay, so here's the real talk. While the $1.3 million figure might be for a one-of-a-kind example, most 1981 D nickels are worth face value. But if you have one in mint state with full steps, it could be worth $50 to $5,000 plus, depending on condition and demand. Those can push the value even higher. Some sales have gone past the $10,000 mark. So next time you get change at the store, don't overlook that nickel. You never know, it might just be the $1 million coin everyone's been dreaming of. Have you ever found a rare coin in your pocket? Drop your story in the comments, and don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe for more treasure hunting tips, and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Bell hop bell fire. Can you imagine finding a coin in your pocket change worth over $1.4 million? Sounds insane, right? But the 1999 D. Jefferson nickel might just be that hidden treasure. Let's dive into the mystery behind this mind-blowing coin, and why collectors are going crazy for it. This isn't just any nickel. It's a 5-cent coin that's flipped the script on what we thought we knew about modern coins. Minted in Denver in 1999, this little guy has a story, and a value, that's pure gold. The Jefferson nickel has been a staple of American pocket change since 1938, featuring Monticello on the reverse and President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse. But what makes the 1999 D nickel so special? Most nickels from this era are worth, well, 5 cents. But occasionally, due to minting errors, rare die varieties, or just incredibly high grades, some coins skyrocket in value. One such 1999 D nickel, in pristine condition and graded MS-70, mint state 70, was reported to have sold, or at least valued, at an unbelievable $1.4 million. This coin was perfectly struck, with sharp details, no visible flaws, and a mirror-like surface. Combine that with its rarity at that grade, and you've got a collector's dream. So what should you look for in your change? Here's what makes a 1999 D nickel valuable: the D mint mark under the year, impeccable condition, think flawless, possibly a rare die variety or full steps on Monticello, a certified grade from a top grading company like PCGS or NGC. Collectors and dealers agree, high-grade modern coins are becoming big business. The market has seen an increase in demand for near-perfect coins, and this nickel is now the holy grail for Jefferson collectors. We're diving deep into a truly mind-blowing discovery that could change the way you look at your coin collection. What if I told you that a simple 2008 D mint mark Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickel could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.4 million? Yes, you heard that right. Stick around, because we're going to break down the story of this rare coin, its incredible value, and how it all came to be. Alright, before we get into the million-dollar details, let's first take a closer look at the 2008 D Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickel itself. This coin was part of the famous Westward Journey series that featured key figures from America's history, like Thomas Jefferson, who played such a pivotal role in shaping the nation. On the front, you'll see a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third U.S. president, and on the back is an image of his home, Monticello. Now, these were issued as part of a commemorative series celebrating Jefferson's legacy, and they were designed to honor his contributions. Most of these coins, like the 2008 D nickel you probably have in your change jar, are worth just 5 cents. So why is one of these suddenly worth $1.4 million? Well, it turns out that a very specific 2008 D Monticello nickel was accidentally minted with a rare and unexpected mistake, making it one of the most sought-after coins in the world today. During the minting process, some of these coins were struck with an unusual die error. Instead of the usual Jefferson design on the obverse, some of these coins ended up with a double die or overstruck feature, meaning, there are multiple impressions of the design stacked on top of each other, creating a double image. This error made the coin extremely rare, and for a while, only a few collectors knew about it. But as more of these coins started popping up, one of them was recently sold at auction for a staggering $1.4 million. That's right, a single 2008 D Monticello nickel, with this rare minting flaw, was sold for $1.4 million at an auction. This not only sent shockwaves through the coin collecting community but also sparked a frenzy among treasure hunters, coin dealers, and investors eager to get their hands on this elusive piece of history. Now, before you run to your coin jar and start flipping through your nickels, remember that not every 2008 D Monticello nickel is worth that kind of money. The mistake coins are incredibly rare, and most of them can't even be seen with the naked eye. You'll need to have a sharp eye and a keen sense of detail to spot one of these million-dollar gems. So, how can you tell if your 2008 D nickel is the valuable error coin? First, look for any signs of doubling in the design. If you see a doubled image of Jefferson's face, the Monticello building, or any other unusual features, you might have a rare coin on your hands. But to be sure, it's best to get your coin professionally appraised or authenticated by a trusted coin expert. Imagine stumbling upon a rare error coin like this in your pocket change. The possibilities are endless. But even if you don't find a million-dollar nickel, the world of coin collecting is full of surprises and hidden treasures. We've got something super exciting for you, the 2000p mint Mark Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickel. This coin isn't just any nickel. It's got a fascinating story and, believe it or not, a jaw-dropping market value. We're talking about a potential worth of $1.4 million. You heard that right, folks. A nickel worth more than $1 million. If you're a fan of rare coins, you won't want to miss this. Let's start with the basics. The 2000p Monticello nickel features Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, and the iconic Monticello building on the reverse. This coin was minted in 2000 by the United States Mint, and it's part of the Jefferson Nickel series, which has been in circulation since 1938. Pretty cool, right? Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, is featured on this nickel. The Monticello building you see on the reverse is Jefferson's Virginia plantation home, which is now a National Historic Landmark. The 2000p is a part of the nickel's long history of being redesigned and updated for different anniversaries and commemorations. Now, what makes the 2000p Monticello nickel so valuable? It all comes down to a rare minting error that happened in production. Some of these coins, which were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, feature a reverse die flaw. This flaw resulted in a significant difference in the design of the Monticello building. Specifically, the windows of Monticello are almost completely missing on certain 2000p coins. On these rare error coins, the windows of Monticello appear as though they were never fully struck into the metal. This error is known as the full-step variety, and it's extremely hard to find. In fact, coins with this error are incredibly scarce, making them highly sought after by collectors. So, how much is this coin really worth? Well, the market value for a regular 2000p Monticello nickel is, of course, pretty much just 5 cents, but a rare error version with the missing windows, depending on its condition, can fetch thousands, tens of thousands, or even more. But here's where it gets crazy: a pristine, high-grade example of this coin, certified by professional grading companies, has been valued at an astounding $1.4 million. That's right, a simple nickel worth 5 cents could sell for over $1 million. How does this happen? Well, rarity and condition are everything in the coin world. When a coin like this is in mint condition, and with a rare, highly prized error, it becomes the dream find for collectors, and collectors will pay top dollar to get their hands on it. So, how do you spot this rare coin? It's pretty simple, really. You'll want to look closely at the Monticello building on the reverse. Pay special attention to the windows. If they're almost completely missing, you might have one of the rare error coins in your hands. Another key indicator is the overall quality of the coin. Look for a coin that's in mint state, preferably graded by a reputable grading service, which can increase its value significantly. So, the 2000p Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickel is a perfect example of how a small minting mistake can turn an ordinary coin into a highly valuable treasure. Whether you're a serious collector or just starting out, it's always worth checking your change, because you never know when a coin like this could show up. We're diving into the fascinating story behind this rare coin, and trust me, you're not going to want to miss this. So, what makes the 1998p Monticello Jefferson nickel so special? At first glance, this coin might seem like just another modern nickel. It features Thomas Jefferson, one of our founding fathers, on the front, and Monticello, Jefferson's famous home, on the back. But hold on, there's more than meets the eye. The P Mint mark indicates that this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, but here's where it gets interesting. Out of the billions of nickels produced in 1998, only a small number were accidentally struck with a rare error, making this coin one of the most sought-after collectibles in the world. Here's the key. Some 1998p nickels were produced with a die error, creating a coin that looks almost identical to a regular nickel, but it's not. The error lies in the way the Monticello building on the reverse was struck, resulting in a deeper, clearer design. This is called the double Monticello error, and it's super rare. Collectors call this version of the nickel the double die reverse or the double Monticello. The distinct error creates a visible doubling of the Monticello image, and it's one of the rarest mistakes ever made on a US coin. Now, let's talk money. How much is a 1998p double Monticello nickel really worth? You won't believe it, but this coin can fetch up to $1.30 million at auction. Yes, you heard that right, $1.3 million. But before you rush to your coin jar, remember, not every 1998p nickel is worth that much. The coin needs to have the rare double die error, and it needs to be in excellent condition. If you have one of these, it could be worth more than your car, or even your house. But, of course, the condition is key, so let's talk about how you can spot a real 1998p double Monticello nickel. Here's how you can tell if you've got a winner. First, check the reverse side of the coin. The Monticello building should appear with clear doubling, making it look like two images stacked on top of each other. You'll notice a distinct ghost image, especially around the windows and columns. It's a subtle but obvious mistake if you know what you're looking for. If you see this clear doubling on Monticello, you've got yourself a rare error coin that could be worth a fortune. So why is this coin worth so much? The rarity of the 1998p double Monticello is what drives its value. Errors like these are incredibly rare, and even rarer when they're in perfect condition. Coin collectors and investors are always looking for these types of hidden treasures, and they're willing to pay top dollar to add them to their collections. And the more people find out about these errors, the more the demand increases. That's why if you're lucky enough to stumble upon one, it could turn your pocket change into a life-changing windfall. If you think you have a 1998p double Monticello nickel, don't just run off to the bank. The first step is to get it professionally graded by a certified coin grading service like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. A professional grade will ensure that your coin is recognized as authentic and in the best possible condition. Once graded, you can start looking for buyers or even auction houses. Who knows? You could end up with a nice little nest egg. So, next time you're going through your pocket change or old coins, remember to check for that 1998p double Monticello nickel. It could be worth more than you ever imagined. And who knows, you might just have a $1.3 million treasure on your hands. We're diving into a coin that most people would overlook, but for some lucky individuals, it could be worth a fortune. We're talking about the 1987p mint mark Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickel. That's right, a humble nickel, the one you probably find in your pocket or at the bottom of your purse, could be worth way more than you'd expect. In fact, One of these coins recently sold for a jaw-dropping $1.3 million. Stick around to find out why and how you could potentially stumble upon this rare treasure yourself. Let's take a quick look at the 1987 nickel itself. This is the standard design, featuring Thomas Jefferson on the front, with Monticello on the reverse. The 1987 coin was minted in Philadelphia, as indicated by the P mint mark, which is key here. Now, you might be wondering, what makes this nickel special? It's the condition and rarity that determine its value. Most of the 1987 nickels you'll find are worth just 5 cents. But there's a very specific variation that could send its value soaring. What sets this coin apart is its unique error, one that made it an instant sensation among collectors. You see, some of the 1987 P mint mark Monticello nickels were struck with a rare, double die error, which means the design on the coin was double printed. This gives the coin a distinct look and makes it incredibly valuable to collectors. Look closely at the details, especially around Thomas Jefferson's portrait and Monticello's structure. The doubling is subtle but noticeable when you know what to look for. This error doesn't happen often, which is why the coin is so sought after. Now, you might be asking, how do I know if I have one of these rare nickels? The short answer is, it's tough. The error is small, so it takes a trained eye to spot it. But if you do find one in your change jar, on the ground, or even from an old collection, you could be sitting on a gold mine. In 2021, one of these rare 1987 P mint mark Monticello nickels was sold at auction for a staggering $1.3 million. It was in near-perfect condition with that double die error, making it the ultimate prize for a coin collector. So, keep your eyes peeled. But it's not just the rare error that adds value, condition is everything. A coin with the double die error that is also in pristine condition, graded as MS 67 or higher, can fetch an astronomical price. To know if your coin is in top condition, you might need to have it professionally graded. Grading companies like PCGS and NGC can examine the coin and assign it a grade based on its quality. Higher grades mean higher value, so getting your coin graded could make all the difference when selling. While these nickels are extremely rare, they can be found, especially if you're diligent about checking your change and coin collections. The more you search, the better your chances of finding a hidden treasure. So, what's the takeaway from today's video? The 1987 P mint mark Monticello nickel, when it has the double die error and is in excellent condition, can be worth millions. If you find one, you could be holding one of the rarest coins in US history. We're going to take a closer look at a coin that's been causing quite a stir in the numismatic world, the 1989 P mint mark Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickel. And did you know this coin could be worth an eye-watering $1.5 million? Let's get into it. First things first, let's talk about the 1989 P nickel. This is a standard Jefferson nickel, minted at the Philadelphia Mint, as indicated by the P mint mark. The obverse of the coin features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. On the reverse, we have the famous Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia home. The 1989 P Monticello nickel is part of the long-running series that began in 1938, and it's been in circulation just like any other modern coin. But what sets this specific coin apart? Well, there's a major twist here. Now, what makes this coin worth so much? While the 1989 P Monticello nickel is a common coin in circulation, a few of them feature a very rare error, one that sent coin collectors into a frenzy. Some 1989 P nickels were mistakenly struck with an unusual die, making them stand out from the rest. These error coins feature a significant variety in design or detail that isn't seen on regular versions. A missing or double die, off-center strikes, or other unique characteristics can turn what should be a regular nickel into an incredibly valuable piece. And if you happen to own one of these rare error coins, you might be holding something worth a fortune, potentially up to $1.5 million. So why could this coin be worth a staggering $1.5 million? It all comes down to rarity, demand, and condition. There are very few of these error coins in circulation, and even fewer in mint condition. As with any collectible, when there's limited supply and high demand, the price skyrockets. At auctions, rare coins like these can fetch incredible amounts of money, especially when collectors and investors know just how valuable they are. Now, you're probably wondering, how do I know if I have one of these rare 1989p Monticello nickels? Well, here's what you need to look for. Look closely for signs of errors, such as a doubled die, a missing letter, or an unusual strike pattern. Compare it with a regular 1989p nickel to spot any differences. If you find one, get it professionally evaluated by a coin expert or appraiser. As of today, the market for rare coins is hotter than ever. Online platforms, private collectors, and coin dealers are always on the lookout for that one elusive piece to add to their collection. While it's rare, if you happen to stumble upon one of these valuable 1989p nickels, make sure you get it checked out. The right condition and error could mean a life-changing payday. So, if you're hunting through your change jar or coin collection, keep an eye out for that rare 1989p Monticello nickel. Who knows, you could be holding onto a coin worth millions.